In today's lesson, we will cover understanding and identifying transition words and sequence of events. Picture this. Our journey begins with Adriana, who is pursuing a pathway to becoming a certified nursing assistant, or as we hear it called more often, a CNA at AdultEdMed. Adriana is 24 years old. She doesn't feel comfortable with her public speaking because of her English proficiency. Adriana struggles with speaking English and hopes to be able to tackle it at her new adult ed program so she can apply for a job as a CNA. Adriana has a bubbly personality. Adriana has interviewed for a job as a certified nursing assistant at the new AdultEdMed hospital. Although she is feeling confident in herself about how the interview went, she still feels that she struggled with conveying how she would be competent as a CNA, knowing she will relay pertinent information to her clients and supervisors. As a result, she wants to improve her verbal, reading, and writing skills in this area and needs extra practice in doing so. Do you know how to identify sequence of events? If you struggle like Adriana does, then this lesson is going to help improve your skills. So let's move on to the lesson. In order to recognize the sequence of events in informational text, you need to know that the sequence of events helps readers retell the most important parts of the text in order. The events happen in a logical order that makes sense. In instructional materials, such as manuals and handbooks, actions must occur in the proper sequence so that the user understands the correct results. In non-fictional passages, as in scientific texts, such as nursing manuals and handbooks, the order of events are written in a different sequence for effect. An important point is that you must be able to correctly order the events in a correct sequence, even when the text doesn't explicitly state them. In most informational texts, the order of events is quite explicit, even when the author doesn't state time order words such as first, next, then, last, or finally. As you can see in the chart, these transition words are the most common when stating the sequence of events in order. Since Adriana is seeking a position as a certified nursing assistant at the newly built hospital, she must be able to identify transition words in CNA documents, including instructional manuals, evaluation charts, incident reports, and emails from supervisors. In order to fulfill the many duties as a CNA, it is important for Adriana to improve her speaking skills in English. One way to perform these tasks appropriately is to understand sequence of events, especially since she will mainly be working with individual patients daily. Before we go to this website you see here, I wanted to share the usefulness of transition words when relating to sequence of events. According to this website, stories are not only defined by the events that take place throughout them, but also the manner and order in which these events were displayed to the reader. Skilled readers will often be able to create their own timeline of events to stories that they read. The first goal when doing this is to identify the major events and then slowly piece together where each event occurred along the way. When you have a solid command of grasping the sequence of a story, you can accurately retell the story and improve your ability to comprehend the entire piece. These worksheets will help students identify the order of key events in a story. Now, let's read this paragraph together first. Then we will check the next slide to see which transition words work best. These transition words work well and will likely appear in most CNA manuals, reports, emails, handbooks, and other types of documents. In an evaluation checklist, however, it is easier to identify the transition words. Can you identify them? Is the checklist easy to follow and in the order of events? Were you able to identify the transition words? As you notice, they are now in bold letters. They are all at the beginning of each step, since this is a real-life CNA evaluation checklist. Of course, Andriana wants to improve her speaking skills, so we must see how she can work on that by increasing the rigor. Now, it's your time to try. First, read the checklist, then add the appropriate transition words from the previous lesson. Again, as a CNA, Andriana will need to not only understand the order of events in a manual or handbook, she will also be expected to orally give incident and change of shift reports to her coworkers and supervisors, as well as clients' families or their guardians. You can go to this link to see what Andriana will need to know while on the job as a CNA. Is this how your checklist looks? Did you use the same transition words per item? And are they in the same sequential order? Did you apply other transition words that would work just as well as these? This may not seem to be an easy task. However, when working with clients, it is important that these steps are done in the correct order so that nothing is omitted or forgotten. Also, while Andriana continues practicing using transition words, her performance and abilities will improve. Now that you have had some guided practice, it is time for you to practice on your own, either independently or with a partner. You can either fill in the blank of the other checklists in the tiny URLs and then practice giving these steps orally as if you are working with a client, since Andriana wants to improve her speaking skills as well. Sequence of events may be boring, but it will make your writing and speaking more understandable. I hope reviewing this crucial skill was helpful. Now, let's have you try this.